Okay, so we've seen how to create a set and how we can add elements to a set by using the add method or the update method. Now, seeing as sets are mutable, we can also remove elements from a set using the method discard and the method remove. Now, the only difference between the two is that the discard function leaves a set unchanged if the element is not present in the set. In other words, we just continue as usual and no error will arise. On the other hand, the remove function will raise an error in the event that the element that you're trying to delete is not present in the set. So let's provide some colour with a couple of examples. So we'll start by creating a set with the integers 1 through to 5. Now, if we wanted to discard an element, we can first of all put my_set, and using the discard method, we could then put dot, followed by discard, and then open a set of parentheses. If we then put 5 inside parentheses, when we take a look to see what's stored inside of my_set, we can see that 5 has been removed. Now let's do the same using the remove method. If we put my_set, place a dot, then put remove with a set of parentheses. If we place 4 inside the parentheses and then have a look to see what's stored in my_set, we can see that 4 has been removed accordingly. Now let's see what happens when the item you're trying to remove does not exist in the set. So if we first of all try this with discard, let's put my_set dot discard and we'll try to discard the number 6. Now when we run this code, you can see that nothing happens, even though 6 is not an element inside of this set. So we just continue as usual, no error is raised. Whereas if we use the remove method, so let's put my_set dot remove and then put the value 6. You can see here we run into a key error and our program would stop at this point. So two ways of being able to remove an item, one giving an error if the item is not present in the set, whereas the discard method will allow you to continue as usual. Now we can also remove and return an item using a method we've seen before known as the pop method. Now seeing as a set is an unordered data type, there's actually no way of determining which item will be popped from the set. It will be completely arbitrary in nature. So if we create a set using the built-in function and pass in the string Python, you can see that when we pop a random element, we first of all get t, which is at index -2, we then get h at index 1, y at -1, and o at index 3. So it's an arbitrary order, it doesn't always pop from the end of the list like we've seen with other data structures. Now finally, we can also remove all the items from a set using the clear method, which we know will remove all the elements from the set, but it will keep the set intact. In other words, we can still reference it later on in our code if we desire, because the set isn't completely deleted. If we did want to delete the set, we can put the set's name and proceed this with the del keyword. This will mean that if we try to reference my_set in our code now, the set no longer exists and will run into an error. So to remove items from sets, we can use the remove method and the discard method. We can also use the pop method, which will return an arbitrary value from the set, seeing as they are unordered, and we can use the clear method to clear all elements from the set, or the del method to delete the whole set in its entirety.